The coach take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Watch the run, watch the run. Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right, tight on the right. Hey, we got 3 down.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 29-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go, baby. New turnover. Hey, lady. Get that ball. Hey, switch gears. You go tank. You got tank. Oh, 80. Switch it. Come on, switch it. I got you, baby. I got you.
This is Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Check. Red 80. Watch the edge.
And Darnold just beating the play clock. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
Check 3.
They're going to go. It's Darnold. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
Ready? 15, run. 15, run. Hey, nice 7.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
You got 3. 3 down. Check 43. Red 80. No.
Don't.
So that'll back them up 5. They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
No. Off. Alert flow.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Check 91. 91 is the Mike. Mike 91.
All day, just like 80. Just like that. Check 26. Check 26.
Man, 80.
Watch twins.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Delay of game penalty ships them back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
'52's the mic, boys. 52.
It's coming this way. Here we go. Check 31.
Check the backer.
Now Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
60, Pittsburgh.
57. Mike, 57.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the play.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
8-3. Hey, Foxtrot.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Throwing again on second down. Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Bell. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ready. Five.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Bell. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 31. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now this one complete to Corey Davis, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Going right side here, and that's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
3 down. 49,
check 40.
Ready. Check.
Off of play action, Darnold. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He completes this one to Mack. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Hey, Wahoo! Yep. Mike 5-4. Watch 5.
They'll drop to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. He's letting it fly for Cooks. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Brandon Cooks. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board.
Jim.
Greystone, Travis.
Lucky. Begin. Check.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Check three.
On second down, it's Bell. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Lady. 55. Exit, lady.
Check 37.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Darnold now to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
52's and Mike. Watch Mike.
Hey, tight. Motion. Reset. New Mike, 52.
Here's Darnold.
Push him back.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 17. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will it be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down.
Go! Right there. 54, right there.
Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
To return is Taylor. Going to be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again, it's Bell. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On first down, Darnold flushed out right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Let's go. Mike 52. I don't think you got it, son. Kill. Red 80. Kill. Under crush. Here we go. Under crush.
On second down now, it's Bell. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Faking the give, Darnold. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
52, hey, exit. Hey, watch the slant. Check, 52 to Mike.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Go! 8, read. 57's the Mike. Watch 57.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And an alley to run. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
At their own 26-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down, it caused every bit.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football now. 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is. And this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and is coming to the game. So you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And now with the play clock winding down, Adam Gase says, let's take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw, Darnold. Going up top. And now here is another interception. T.J. Green with a pick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
57's Mike.
Hey.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Mike's 57. Get it.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Give me that ball, defense. Bravo. Give me that ball, defense. Five.
Out of the gun now on third down. This is caught. It's Cooks. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Ready.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Mike.
57's to Mike.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Leonard Williams able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey, I'm coming, lady. Kill.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Me, I got it.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Red 80. 58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Darnold, he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. They will find Davis. That's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Again they run with Gurley. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
23 yards, the final tally. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Check 50, check 50.
From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Play, play, play.
the 44. Darnold. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Yeah, the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run forward with a fullback, Sherman. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
In your face. Hey, we got tight left. 3 down. Motion, bump.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
52. I got him. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Ready?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the end.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting.